Now let's consider inheritance, or creating a new class by extending another. The new class inherits all the properties of its parent. So in this scenario, we would need to look at the running context of car to determine blue car's context. So we can see here car is with sharing, so therefore blue car will also be with sharing. And the same thing applies to visual force controllers, except that standard controllers are with sharing and they run in user context. If you extend them, by default, they too will run in user, but you can declare them without sharing. Custom controllers, however, are more like normal classes. They will default to without sharing. Now we've just seen that when class A calls class B, our rule of thumb says that it'll run in class B's context. There can be times where we need the exact opposite scenario. So basically we want a class that can be called and we want it to run in the context of the class calling it. This is our third keyword, inherited sharing. And we can see a simple example of that here with our class car trying to park. And because parking is inherited, it will revert back to the class calling it. Another big point here is that inherited sharing runs in with sharing by default. It will only run in system when it's called by a class that is without sharing. So it's the exact opposite of the standard default. In that sense, it's safer, but still flexible enough to run in system. And it's actually encouraged by Salesforce themselves when building apps for the App Exchange, as it helps pass the security review. Also note that terms like synchronous or asynchronous, public, private, they don't really have an impact for what we're covering today.